What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the part 2 of AI taking your job with Lockdown Universe. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully you guys are doing excellent and taking care of yourselves. So I apologize for the quick exit out of the last episode. However, we do have some really interesting info here. So we've been talking about Elon basically stating that we weren't going to have jobs coming up. He basically said, you can have a job if you want, but you won't need one. Great, thanks, Elon. But why is this important? Well, Hollywood always predicts this stuff, right? Hollywood always says this is what's going to happen in movies and in their business. It starts in Hollywood because they're on the forefront of imagination, and they're down there and they have California in the Silicon Valley with all these brilliant minds that these script writers siphon off of and put right in their movies. If you haven't seen a really great movie, go watch The Social Network about Facebook or Origins. Now, if y'all remember, we just had a 148-day Hollywood writer's strike against AI because AI is already capable of stealing their jobs, writers' jobs, jobs that aren't like vital to our economy, right? You think of like building materials and food and teachers and police and all these other people that we need, plumbers, electricians, all these things. But the writers' battle, they were worried about AI right off the jump because AI was the first to take their jobs. So the humans win, it states on this apnews.com article, for now, in parentheses. So after a 148-day strike, Hollywood screenwriters secured significant guardrails against the use of artificial intelligence in one of the first major labor battles over generative AI in the workplace. Who would have freaking thought that this would have been the case in 2023, back in 2000, or back in, even 2010. I mean, when we were, not even having iPhones, really playing around with them. We were starting to get, smartphones. I mean, it's just like, it's freaking mind-boggling. I'm trying not to swear because I'm trying to walk a better line these days. But if I wanted to swear, I would swear right now because this is like totally mind-blowing. But after nearly a 5-month walkout, no issue resonated more than the issue of AI in script writing, which it can do very well. I've used AI to try to generate a script for, ideas for a podcast or ideas for bullet points for a podcast, just ideas, just throwing them out there, seeing what it could create. I never used it, but I just wanted to see what it could do. And I think it could write a story if it wanted to, easily. You just give it some ideas and it can write a story. Is it a great story? Not yet, but depends on how many prompts you put into it and how fast it learns. Okay, so this is the Writers Guild of America who had to do this strike. 148 days, guys. That's a long freaking time. That's many months of striking, not earning any money. And you can say, well, wow, they're Hollywood, war, whatever. What if it's you, right? What if it's us? That's a long time without a paycheck. So the strike was also about the streaming era and how they need to get paid residuals, how they weren't getting paid residuals. But mostly it was against the human versus machine clash that the writers were adamantly opposed to because they knew it was coming for their jobs. So in the coming weeks, the WGA, Writers Guild, will vote on whether to ratify a tentative agreement. They state that AI cannot write or rewrite literary material. AI-generated writing cannot be source material either. They say that this is all part of their agreement. AI-generated material cannot be used to undermine a writer's credit or separated rights. I hope that this will be a model for a lot of other content creation industries, a lot of which we are all in. I'm creating content with podcasts. Other people are creating content with videos on Facebook, and they really rely on that money that's generated from YouTube. It pretty much ensures, according to this article, that if you're going to use AI, it's going to be humans working alongside AI, That to me has always been the best way to use any form of AI. Makes sense, right? And that's what Amazon, we were talking about in the last podcast, is looking to do. They're looking to train 2 million people, and they've already trained another, a few million before this in cloud technology. Now they're training them in AI technology and AI prompt technology and generative AI, creating bots and creating AI source AI industries, so to speak. So that's what they're trying to do. And they're not only creating the AI software, they're creating AI industries, which is going to be what everything is eventually. So the language in which this tentative agreement was hammered out in dragged on for weeks because they needed to get the language just right. And it's kind of interesting when you're talking about language. AI probably could have written this agreement for them. Now, when the writer's strike began on May 2nd, it was just 5 months after OpenAI released ChatGPT. This was back last November, a year ago. And the AI chatbot that can write essays, have sophisticated conversations, craft stories from a handful of prompts. The studio said it was too early to tackle AI in these negotiations and wanted to wait until 2026. Well, they can always come back to the table, right, as AI continues to get better and better. Ultimately, they hashed out terms while noting that the outlook is certain to change. That's a given, guys. It's going to change. Things are going to develop more and more, and they're going to have to come back to the table. And all of our industries are going to have to come back to the table. Whether you're in sales, how you use AI, how much AI you use, in which way do you use it. Think about this for a second. Think about how much spam you're already getting in your email. Well, now it's just going to quintuple, the amount of, just emails that you're going to get from everybody, from sales to marketing to recruiting to everything. You're going to get a lot of emails, and it's going to come down to the point where they're going to start making laws against AI written emails, right? It'll have to be some way that they can track if it's a human written email, and then you're going to be able to unsubscribe from these emails and these marketing techniques. And it's going to be just like a weird, real difficult challenge for a lot of people who work in these industries to try to gather talent, to try to gather sales individually without AI's help or AI dominating their industries. What are we going to do? We're going to have universal basic income. People who are living paycheck to paycheck and they have their industries cut are going to have to be compensated. And we've thought about this for decades, that people are going to have to be compensated somehow, because you can't have 8 billion people and then AI come around and just take 6 billion of the jobs away. Granted, I know there's not 8 billion people working because half of them are under 18 or more than half or whatever the case is. Nonetheless, you got a lot of people working. Let's say it's 4 billion people or 2 billion people across the planet working. The rest of the people are either too young or too old. So now you have 2 billion people in the workforce. Then you cut half of those people out. Now all the people that rely on those 1 billion people working are now going to not have any income either, because it's those people in the 1 billion that are providing for the rest of the 6 billion people on the planet. It becomes a real quandary, doesn't it? So I think that this Writers Guild strike really plays out for many other industries, and it's really going to, they're trailblazing. They're trailblazing. We're going to have to steal, or at least, utilize some of their bargaining chips and their language in our own bargaining methods. So it's going to be fascinating, man. It's going to be a real big challenge moving forward. How fast can this change? How fast can you expect a change in your career field? Let's take this for an example. In 2000, I was working for Verizon Wireless, okay? In 2000, when we had flip phones, okay? Everybody thought that sending a picture on Verizon's network was the end all be all awesome, cool thing to do. And you know how much it costs? Cost like 50 cents or 75 cents a picture to send back in 2000. Fast forward to 2010. Now you have unlimited data. Now you have unlimited texting. Fast forward to 2023. Now we have everybody using Zoom. Everybody using, Skype. Everybody using FaceTime. So those industries of communication went down the drain. Like landlines. Anybody that worked on landlines, anybody that required landlines, anybody that was selling landlines, you were all out the door. Boom, kicked out like that. You notice how they try to sell you on landlines now because nobody else gives a shit. Now, what happens when our own cell phones become obsolete? And AI can do it for you. Because you don't need a cell phone anymore. All you need is Alexa in your house. You don't need a cell phone. Alexa can project an image onto your wall for you, and you can tell her with a prompt what you want. Or it can learn what you want to see before you even say anything. You can just say, Alexa, start feed. And it will start to feed you information just like TikTok does with their algorithm. So that you won't even need to have a phone in your hand anymore. You can just project it up on the screen. Or if you want to get even more fancy, you can go Elon Musk's Neuralink route and get an implant in your head. And then much like the movie iBoy, you'll be able to see images in your mind with this implant. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, that's not going to happen. This isn't going to happen, da-da-da-da. Guarantee your ass it's going to happen. People will get it. And when people can be faster, smarter, quicker to the punch, quicker to get the information and utilize it in any way they can, you bet your ass they're going to get that Neuralink implanted in their head. Now, we're in the infancy of that as well. That is not developed fully. They're usually using it on monkeys and stuff right now. They're starting human trials. Now, when that becomes solidified, when they've narrowed it down and gotten it more technologically advanced, meaning it becomes smaller, you can just get a chip put in, or even something smaller than that, a nano chip, or you can just, put a little dot on your tongue and it goes into your body. The entire internet can go into your body, and then people will be using it, guaranteed. That's the next version of the iPhone, is the Neuralink, but it's not going to be the current Neuralink the way it is. It's going to be a developed Neuralink. It's going to be a neurochip. It's going to be something you could probably just swallow, and it's in your body. And if you want it to come out of your body, you'll be able to do that, because nobody's going to want to say, hey, I want this implant in and I can never take it out, the way they have it set up now, where it's going to be hooked up to your brain and stuff like that. Nobody's going to want that, I don't think. Not the way it's designed, but they will want it eventually once it's fully developed. Now, there's also the issue with gene development and manipulating your genes so that you can become 7 feet tall if you want. Or you could become 3 feet tall if you want. You want to squeeze into little doors. Maybe you want to super small yourself, like that downsizing movie or whatever it's called with Matt Damon. And they shrunk themselves, and now everything all the money that they had, let's say they had $100,000, became like $1 million, because they didn't need all the building materials. They didn't need all the food. One piece of food could last them lifetimes, so like there's all this technology that's going to be built out of AI, where all the gene modification that we need to do, AI is going to be able to figure that out instantaneously with the information that we have. You just input it and you ask it to manipulate things so that you can develop a body that can be created and put in. If AI has access to all of the technology that we have, which it probably doesn't, or well, we know it doesn't have access to all of the alien technology that we talk about, doesn't have access to the special ops, government technology, and documentation and understanding and scientific breakthroughs. But if it did, you could say, hey, I want this. I want to put wings on my back. Develop me a pill to take so that I can put wings on my back. You'll develop a pill with a 3D printer. You'll be able to take it. Boom, you got wings on your back. Now you can fucking fly. Yeah, man, it's going to happen. What else is going to happen? Are we going to bring dinosaurs back from Jurassic Park? AI is going to be able to do that too. With all the technology that we have, it's going to be able to do that. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And they're going to be able to do that pretty quick. I think within our lifetimes. I mean, it depends on how long we all live, but it's definitely, things are going to happen faster and faster and faster. They're going to start announcing things, right? Like they announce movies. They're going to come out in 2025, 2026, 27, 28. By 2030, we're going to have all these Marvel movies. Well, guess what? It's going to start happening like that with AI. With AI, they're going to be able to say, hey, coming in 2028, you'll be able to gene modify yourself. Coming in 2030, you'll be able to create a baby that you want with all of the specific genetic coding thanks to AI. You can order it on Amazon for $3,335, right? You'll be able to order those blueprints off. They'll sell them. This is, the sheer amount of sci-fi that's just like pouring out right now is going to be sci-fact within 10 years. And it may sound crazy, but it's not crazy when you know all this stuff and you do all the research on it. It's just simply magnificent. Again, we have to think about Jeff Goldblum for a second and his statement in Jurassic Park. They were so busy with finding out if they could do it that they didn't think and stop for a moment to say, should we do it? So we're going to find ourselves in that conundrum too, and Elon already knows that. Bezos doesn't care. He wants to push this thing as hard as he can and get the talent with that. That's why he has these programs out that we talked about in the last episode. That's why he's going to start pushing all these programs for people to join. And then when they join, if you continue to contribute to Amazon and you contribute in a beneficial way, they'll probably start to offer percentages off of their products for you for the next foreseeable future. We're going to give you 25% off all products if you can develop the sequence that we need developed. And whoever develops the best and most efficient way with their AI gets 25% off for life or for the year or for a certain amount of products. It's really going to be interesting to see. We already know that people are making billions of dollars online with drop shipping and all of these different marketplace options. They can also put items on Amazon. So it won't be what items can you put on Amazon in a physical product. It's going to be what kind of AI products can you develop and put on Amazon that will get you paid. Because we know that it's coming to the point where, and it already is here, where all that's going to matter is how much you can produce in a software component to the internet. We're already there. It's who's doing the best product marketplaces. They're contributing the most to the internet, aren't they? The people that have the best marketplace shops, Shopify, people that are creating the best experiences are making the most money. People can sell items from their video games on the internet already. So we're already there. It's just a matter of time as to when the real world ends in your productivity line and where you're going to have to produce on the internet through your AI knowledge. It's really fascinating, guys. It's really fascinating. AI, when I look at the paintings that we have, I've got paintings all around this room. I mean, it's, we've got paintings everywhere. And it's a paint room down here. And so, it used to be, hey, what can you produce in a painting? And people would pay big money for it. Now AI can produce that. And it doesn't need you. It doesn't need me. It just needs to be asked for. So, I don't know. That's what I got. That's what I got for today, guys. I'm going to let you go. I want you to think about this. I want you to consider, is your job in jeopardy because of AI? What will you do if your job goes under because of AI? Will you go and try to learn these courses for Amazon? Will you try to work for some sort of online company? Will you try to create your own company, your own lemonade stand somewhere? There will continue to need to be some sort of physical presence in the world, but it's not going to be retail stores. It's not going to be product stores. That's all going to be taken care of. It's all going to be taken care of and will be ordered, and people won't need to go to the stores for that. It's going to be what can a person actually do that AI can't do. Right now, we don't have the robots that are dispersed into the community yet. But AI will eventually find a way to make it more affordable for these robots that they already have in development, already created, to make it to the marketplace and to make it affordable so that AI can run those robots and then run you out of your physical business. And then what happens? Is that what's really called an alien takeover? It's an AI takeover. It's alien to humans. Could be an alien takeover. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. I've had fun with this topic. I hope you have too. There's lots more alien topics to talk about, conspiracy topics to talk about, but this is real world stuff that's going on, and it does have an impact on you and I moving forward, and I think it's definitely worth it to talk about in the sci-fi aspect of Lockdown Universe and in the real world aspect of how it affects you, since you are a listener to this podcast. I appreciate you guys listening. Please take care of yourselves physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Don't lose out on any of those three. If any of those three are getting weakened, please bring it up to the same level as the others. Please take care of your family and friends and loved ones. And as always, follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams. Those are important as we move forward. And as always, continue to question the universe around you. Until next time, guys, take care. Lockdown Universe out.